Judah was asking, how will we escape the Assyrians? What you do next after you ask that question reveals what you believe about God. It's Henry Blackaby, church planter in Canada, that first poses this question to believers. He calls it a crisis of belief. Not a crisis, but a crisis of belief. You're in the moment and you cry out to God for relief and escape. What you do next reveals what you believe about God. God, what shall I do? Where shall I go? How shall I endure? What you do next reveals what you believe about God. How will I escape this situation? What you do next reveals what you believe about God. The churches ask these questions. How will we get more people? Church, what you do next after you ask that question reveals what you believe about God. We circle around and say, what shall we do to fill the church houses? We'll come up with a lot of shenanigans. And there's plenty of American evidence that it's pretty successful. But what will we do? Will we ask the question, how do we meet the ends of the financial responsibilities in our homes? What you do next reveals what you believe about God. You're saying, I can't make the money fit. It always comes up too short. Then you need to spend some time examining what are you giving your money to. What you do next out of that reveals what you believe about God. Churches are faced with this all the time. There's shortage on budgets. Oh God, how are we going to make it meet this month? Well, what we do next reveals what we, the collective church, believes about God. Oh, we can do what a lot of other churches done and call all the good bakers together and hold a bake sale. Or we can trust God. And we can receive the answer that God gives us as a moment to put His glory on display. Not how good of a baker we are, and we have some pretty good bakers. By the way, in a moment we're going to have a meal. You'll have a moment to taste it. It is some good eating around here. But are we going to trust in the strength of men? Or will we trust in the sovereign, almighty, sufficient Lord, our Savior, Jesus the Christ? I know your answer is you want to trust Him. So church, let's trust Him. Let's believe Him. Let's give ourselves and devote ourselves unto Him. The greatest question you should be asking today is, how will I escape the wrath of God? You're not asking that question unless you have come to the reality by the kindness of God that God's wrath is justly upon you. And now you're asking, how will I escape the wrath of God?